I only have 2 lines in this whole podcast, so yeah, I got it.
John, are you ready to say hello and goodbye?
That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. And welcome back to the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh, same bullshit.
All right. Well, those are my lines. Let's introduce Heather, so I can shut up over here.
Thanks for coming. See you later.
Thank you for stopping by, John.
No problem. I'm happy Mother's Day, and I will exit. And hey,
you got your line in.
I'll see you later. I'll see you guys on the outro.
Oh, stop! Remember your line because you always forget.
Yeah, we'll see.
This will be my first episode where you remember the outro.
Because I don't have to think of anything else. I have the whole podcast to just play back the outro in my head.
So how was your Mother's Day, Heather?
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
We did brunch in the morning with my mom and Logan, obviously, and Bud, and then we just came back and spent the day here. It was relaxing and exactly what it needed to be.
Was it bottomless mimosas?
Of course. I brought my own because I wasn't sure how the COVID thing was going to go. So.
Just
how
in
was your
case.
Mother's Day, Crystal? Sober?
It was sober. It was okay. JR was sick, so
he was cranky.
Yeah, he was. I know he was cranky and meh. And then
I took him for a while.
He did. He took him to go get my chocolate covered strawberries that I requested, and
perfect.
Run some other errands.
Pick up laundry and stuff. Yeah, which meant they were out of the house, which was great. I literally just sat on the couch and I think I scrolled reels probably for a couple hours, and
that's the perfect day.
Yeah, did nothing.
Don't bother me.
Right. I didn't work. It was really hard because I was like, okay, I'm not going to work today. It's Mother's Day.
And it is hard though, isn't it?
It's
I
so hard.
Recording a tutorial yesterday because I was like, I have so much time.
Yeah, and then when I wasn't working, I was like, well, I can plan what I'm going to work on this week, and I'm like, no, that's still working.
That's still mental work.
Right, because I was like, oh, but I could do this.
It's just going to stress you out because then you're going to be like, I could be working right now. I have all these.
Right. So yeah, and then I, as always, had big plans today, and then the JR stayed home from school again today because he was still sick.
So did I.
He did. Thankfully, you
didn't go to school either.
I didn't pick up.
Well, the last time JR was sick, John had already picked up a shift, so
I turned it down.
Yeah,
I remember this.
Oh yeah,
it was not a fun day.
His boss actually asked him, "Do you want to?" I know the answer is probably no, but do you want to pick up a shift on Sunday?
No, to be on call.
Oh, be on call.
It wasn't like a true shift. It was just to be on call.
Still.
But
yeah, but you know how that luck goes.
Right.
As soon as you say you're going to be on call on an important day, you're on call.
Right, and then like a plane crashes or something.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and then, I had big plans to work today so that I didn't have to work tomorrow because that's my birthday.
I know.
And I'm going to be old. 30.
You are going to be as old as...
Wait, your birthday's tomorrow?
Are you serious? You're not serious.
We had this conversation in the car.
I was gonna say that was a real good. You played that off real well. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I'm good on podcasts. I'm a good actor.
Crystal's like, we're gonna mute for a second, guys. We'll be
right. Hold on 1 second, and we're back in John's outside.
After a brief pause, we're back.
But yeah, so I'm gonna have to work a little bit tomorrow, but that's okay. I won't work too hard.
Make that money.
Right? You got to. Well, I really got to get on.
We're really against making the things, but it makes us the money. So.
It does. And what I really need to do is get on a lot of digitals so that I can have some.
Hey, can you join me back in the digital realm?
Shut up. I'm getting there. But I drew a bunch of stuff this week, so I just need to get it in my software and vectorize it, and
maybe you'll learn Adobe Illustrator. Who said that?
Oh, someday. But yeah, I need to start padding my Etsy for when I legit am gonna be struggling to work in a few months. So yeah. So let's get
into it.
Laser Hacks Part 2.
Dos. Let's see what I got. I'll go first because my list is kind of small. since we
I think I
covered
went
most
first
of
last time
mine.
too, so you go first this
Okay,
time.
perfect. So this one I feel like I might have covered it last time, but we're going to cover it again and then kind of expand on it a little bit. And that's, which surprisingly, it's come up several times this last week. And that's how to score an internal offset to help with design placement. So I use this a lot. You don't love it because it does take a little bit longer.
I never use it ever, not once.
But what I do in Silhouette Studio, it's literally called an internal offset. And I do an internal offset of either 0.010 or 0.015 if I really want to make sure like that it doesn't show.
And for Adobe Illustrator users, it's the same exact thing, but we would just do an
negative.
object, like just a regular offset, but you would just do a negative number, same measurements as Crystal said.
Yeah. So I use that a lot, especially for like my cake toppers and that kind of stuff. I use that for placement. And the other thing we were going to talk about was scoring was how much we love when people score instead of engrave.
Did you use the word love?
I did. Sarcastically.
Oh, that's so cute. That's super cute of you. We love when people score instead of engrave. We just love it.
Why?
Well, because
it's so cute.
It's not. So it has its time and its place. So it really works. Scoring works great for like those DIY kits that are really popular right now because it gives you like lines to color within and stuff like that. But like the ones we don't love, because that love was sarcastic, was when they score a... John's over here
like your design. Let's talk about your watch band design. When they score your tribal or whatever, the mandala.
Yeah, I know, and they like it. I
was going to say some buyers love it, but
they really do. But you know, just for me, because I have the henna watch band design, and there's a ton of small, like intricate, detailed lines. And when you score something that's not meant to be scored, you have double the lines, and so it's just a whole lot of lines instead of like a clean engrave of a really
and it becomes almost a duplicate line. Like if you have like for your very like intricate details, like people will say like, oh, I scored this design on an orange watch band and it turns like a light pink color.
Yeah,
happens a lot when you're scoring like really fine designs because it's too hot.
Yeah, and then when they like score like a long quote. And it's not a scoreable font, and the difference between a scoreable font is a single line font, and so it actually like single line fonts actually look nice scored because
single
that's
line fonts are foil quill fonts. Yeah, that's what they're built for.
Exactly, that's what they're built for. So otherwise, if you use a regular font, it's hard to read because you know you're literally just seeing this thin outline of a font. And sure, especially if you have a Glowforge, it saves you a ton of time, but it doesn't give you that quality. Right, exactly.
Although I do love me some Dear Agatha.
Oh, that font. And there's like 4 or 5 different kinds. I think it's Dear Agatha Sans.
There's like a Sans and a script. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Sans I really like. The script I like. One thing you do need to, I've noticed with the scoring fonts, you have to make sure to not do them too fast. On the Glowforge,
and sometimes you have to double them.
Yeah, and on the Glowforge, I always had to do, I think it was called high...
Draft score?
No, I had to do like high quality or high HD score or something like that on the Dear Agatha script, because it would make like the T's jagged because it went too fast. So I noticed that.
I'm shocked. The Glowforge did something weird.
The sarcasm is strong on this episode.
I do love Dear Agatha though, and it's for what it's meant for. Like that's the thing is, if you are looking for a single line font, Dear Agatha, the fonts that are meant for that purpose are perfect for that.
Yeah.
But when you take a cursive font or a font that's not meant to be scored,
Yeah.
and then you score it, it kind of looks cheap to me. Again,
Yeah.
that's our personal preference.
Well, it's hard to
That's a
read.
little, it's a little bit of a cheat, which Crystal said it's on the Glowforge. It saves a ton of time.
Yeah.
It won't save us much time because everything's fast.
Right.
Man, the shade.
Throwing shade left and right tonight.
No.
Listen, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Glowforge got us started. The
It really
only reason
did.
I know lasers is because of the Glowforge brand. So
Very
I don't
much
have bad things to say about it. I just am glad that I have moved on up.
Yes. Same.
I will note while we're talking about scoreable fonts, because this is also a common thing that comes up when you're using Adobe Illustrator with quote unquote scoreable fonts. They look a little
weird.
funky.
Yeah.
Right. So what I do is I usually just work in outline view when I'm working with scoreable fonts. That way I can just see the paths and not the fills.
Yeah, because it does some crazy.
It almost looks like an unfilled shape. If anybody that uses Adobe Illustrator is familiar with that, it looks like you broke a path.
Right.
And it's looking to fill it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
And that's also, sorry to talk over your Crystal, but that's also the difference in the GFUI. If you set it to score and you're not meant to, you know how when you set it to like engrave and you don't. So if you have your steps set wrong in the GFUI,
it'll
can
look
a little
weird
funky
too.
as well.
So the only thing I was gonna say was on the scoring and using the internal offset for placement. The reason you do the internal offset is if you've ever attempted to score something to help you with placement without doing that internal, it shows. Because if you just do a regular offset the same size as your font, your quote, your flower, whatever, when that flower is cut out and you go to line it up, because of kerf and what the laser has removed in cutting out that shape, you now see the score line that you made if you didn't make it smaller than the actual item. So that's why you make it smaller, so that it helps you with placement, but it doesn't actually show once you place your letter there or flower, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next thing I have, which is a really big one, back up your files. Back it up. So
like 6 times.
Yeah, like redundancy is
like external
really
hard drive,
good.
put it on your Dropbox, back up your iCloud.
Yeah, so I have an external, I have Dropbox for some things, and then I also have I think it's called Backblaze. I had posted in That Mom with the Laser and asked, how people are backing up their files, how they prefer to do it, and Backblaze came up a lot. And I mean, I like it. I haven't tested it yet. I haven't seen like if I needed to or whatever, but I'll get regular updates of like, the last time they updated, how much they're storing, all that kind of stuff, because I literally have years of designs and I wasn't backing up my
stuff. And did I read that
properly.
You only have one folder?
Yes.
Stop it. Right now.
Yes.
My OCD is screaming.
So the way my OCD is set up is
that you put everything in one folder.
Is if I can't do it perfectly, then I just don't.
You just dump it all in one pile.
I just don't do it. And so what I really should do is I should set up like folders and then just start saving into them going forward. Mm-hmm, because going back, the amount of files I have, it gives me a panic attack. Because I no. There's so
You're still
many.
Gonna need to go back. For my sake.
No, I don't. For my sake, I don't think I'm going to. But yeah, so my laptop is a couple years old, and I was starting to have difficulties like with the battery, and I actually still have a battery that I bought so that John can replace it for me, because I mean, the second you unplug it from the cord. Are we
talking about a Windows or a Mac?
Windows. So the second you unplug it from the power source, it dies.
It just dies.
So I can't take it anywhere unless I'm like okay with it dying. So I need to replace that battery, and I was like, there's no way I'm replacing that battery without first backing up everything. Right. So yes, and I mean, what was it? Gina a couple like a month or two ago, she spilled like a huge cup of coffee on her Mac.
Whoa.
Yeah,
And lost
and
it.
she got, well, she lost the Mac, but she got
But not
real
because she was backing
lucky,
up there.
and she was able to turn it on enough to be able to back it up. Like, it was
Was she
dead.
not? Oh, she wasn't
Oh,
backing
okay.
up already. Yikes.
And
See, that's what
so,
I have my iMac backing up to the time machine, and then it backs up to my external every night so that I have a full copy of everything,
yeah.
and it backs up to iCloud. So if anything, see, Crystal,
Right,
and
yeah.
tomorrow is actually the anniversary. Your birthday. It's the anniversary of when my house burnt down. So
Oh, right.
that's my like internal. I'm always afraid that something's going to catch fire and be gone
Right.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I have like 4 copies of everything everywhere.
Which is a great idea because one of them can fail.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And usually will when it comes to my luck.
Right.
It'll be the one that I lean on the most.
Exactly. Oh, the next one is spraying clear acrylic with frost or matte spray.
Frosted by Crystal.
Right. So I don't use this one a ton, but I did it once when I really needed frosted.
Don't say once because you did it for me.
Well, true. Well, the first time I did it was because I had run out of frosted acrylic and all I had was clear. And I'm like, well, I had this frosting spray for another project that I never even used it for. And I was like, let's try it. So I tried it and it looked amazing. And clear acrylic is usually cheaper than frosted acrylic too. Now, it obviously does not look nearly as good, so I use it when like it's not going to be shown as much, when it's like the back piece of my LED signs for where I just really need it to kind of hide some of the 3M. It's where the lights show through at the back of an LED sign. So it's the back of the sign, so it doesn't have to look perfect. So I definitely wouldn't use it for like on clear for something that was going to be like the main backer to my sign or something like that. But when I was working at Cerulean Tides, Heather had requested, I had kind of told her about this hack because I think, again, there was once where I didn't have like matte black. And so I tried spraying matte top coat on it and to do matte, and it worked. And she was like, can you do that on gray and send it to me? And I'm like, sure. And we tried it, and then you used it on one of your signs, and it looked awesome. And
Yep. I still have a couple of sheets of it. You did 3. I remember you said you were like, there's a big handprint in the middle of one of them. And I was like, that's
oh,
it.
yeah.
I'll make sure I don't use that one.
Well, because so that's another tip. Good thing you brought that up. When you're removing the masking from said shiny acrylic, don't place your big ass hand on the acrylic to hold it down while you're removing the rest of the acrylic.
Because your oils will prevent this spray
yeah,
from
and I was like,
adhering.
oh, that's nice. That's a big handprint for.
I
for
still
Heather.
haven't actually seen it. I could have used it for all I know.
Well, and true. I mean, if you're cutting out like small words or something, it's probably not going to be
which is
noticeable.
what I have been doing. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I use like a microfiber cloth to kind of like put your hand on top of so that you're not getting your oily, greasy hands all over it.
And now, if anyone wants to order from Cerulean Tides, Crystal will drive there and frost your sheets for you.
I sure won't. Okay, so spraying clear acrylic or other acrylic, with frost or matte spray. Love it, especially if it doesn't come in matte or you ran out. Oh, and then cardboard packaging. I've been doing this a ton because I've been getting a lot of cake topper orders. And so what I do is my cake
Did you post a pic of your packaging in the group yet? In this group?
I don't think so. So I'll definitely do that when we post this episode, when we post all the like different pictures and links and stuff for each hack. And so I have my cake topper outline. So the back piece is just a rectangle that is slightly bigger than the whole cake topper. And then the middle piece is just the outline of the cake topper to kind of support it. So the cake topper sits within that piece of cardboard. Also, cardboard settings, by the way, are what, 100?
I use
100
170. Some people
speed, yeah,
say
70
don't use
power.
100 speed. Meh.
Really?
I use 170.
Works
Some
great for
people.
me.
Yeah, it works
Um,
great for us. So if those some people are listening, I'm sorry if it doesn't work for you.
yeah, sorry. Try it.
No
Here's
lo
starting
siento.
points. And then the top layer, if I've done a layered cake topper, which again most of mine have been lately, I do a small offset around that top layer so then it cushions that layer, because if you don't, then your cardboard isn't going to sit flat on that top layer because of, the rose gold or
Right.
name or whatever you have on top of the
So your
topper.
two-layered cake toppers are essentially 3 layers of cardboard, but mostly cutouts for the second and
Basically,
third
yeah.
layer.
And
Right.
and I do that cutout as the top third layer. I don't put another
And
like
it's super
full
cute because you
piece.
also engrave it and put your little
Yes.
signature
So what
on
I
it.
did with the last one was, it was for a local friend, and I put happy birthday, and then I put like Crystal Riley Black Designs, and I scored that in Dear Agatha, of course. And so it was super
Yeah.
quick, and I scored it on the top piece of the cardboard. And then if I'm shipping, so I didn't really need to do that because it was local. I literally could have just handed it to her, but I was initially going to ship, and then she decided to pick it up. So then after the 3 layers of cardboard, I wrap it in a sheet or two of bubble wrap, and then I put that into a cardboard mailer. And the cardboard mailers I use are they're really meant for like books. And so if you search like book mailer or book cardboard mailer, those work perfect for my cake toppers. And then that's what I send them in. So, I
What size
think
steak do you put on your cake toppers?
I totally thought you were talking about meat. I was like, what? Steak?
How do you like your steak? No,
She
I
doesn't.
don't
She
really
doesn't
like
like steak.
steak.
I don't like steak either.
Okay, good.
What?
If I do, I like it like really well done, like beef jerky.
Oh my god.
Sorry, John.
He's awake now.
I
Welcome
heard
back to the
steak. I heard
party.
steak. It piqued my
We fooled
interest.
you. We lured you back in with false pretenses.
So I make them approximately 3 inches.
Same.
Yeah, and then I have one
And
that's
then
a
they put
little
them
bit
on cakes that are
shorter.
only 1 inch tall, and they make them look like
Like
giant.
yeah, like Lala's birthday party. If you are in the group That Mom with the Laser, I was showing this super fancy cake topper that I made for
It's the best
his
picture. It's the best
his
staging photo
grandmother that
ever.
turned 86 years old.
Yep.
And so I did confetti bomb, like acrylic backer, and then I did matte white and matte hot pink for
It looked great.
happy 86th birthday Lala.
It looked great.
Beautiful.
And then I get there and realize that they bought the tiniest ice cream cake on the planet. I've literally never seen a cake this
It's a
small in
little
my
baby.
life.
It looks delicious though.
It was
It was
only 5 people eating cake.
okay, but still, like it was, yeah. Well, and then I mean, in their defense, your brother bought it, who's a bodybuilder
Right.
who doesn't eat cake,
And my grandmother
and
is
he didn't know that
diabetic,
we were coming, right? So
so
like,
she shouldn't even be eating cake.
it's true, but like I don't know, maybe a little
But
warning.
then again, she's 86, so eat all the cake you want.
Right, exactly. That's what everyone. That's what everybody in the comments were like. She's 86. Can you give her a little bit more cake? Nope.
There was a
So-
carrot cake as well.
Oh man. So my cake topper with 3-inch steaks had about 2.5 inches showing, basically, of this tiny little cake, and it literally looked like the "Welcome to Las Vegas" sign on this tiny ice cream cake. But whatever. Everyone still liked it. So. Yeah, and I typically make them, my cake toppers, 5.5 inches wide. It's usually good for, even if it's a bigger cake, then it's not like, it doesn't take up the whole dang cake. And then I
I always confirm just in case it's going to be like a giganto cake and needs to be like
yeah, then
bigger.
I'll make it 6 or 7.
Yeah.
If
But anything bigger than that gets heavy and then it starts leaning.
exactly. Yeah. So
especially acrylic.
I think that's on her end.
Huh.
Her earbuds might be too loud.
Oh, okay. Like there's some like feedback or something. But it's gone now. I don't hear it, do you?
No.
Okay.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, so that's all I have, I think, for my list.
That was your whole list?
That was my whole list. I only had 4.
Damn.
Yeah, I only had 4 left over from the first one. Because we seemed to mostly cover my list. So now it's your turn.
So the first one that I had on mine was the pizza rack, which is
so
I
great.
now have.
Pizza.
I'm in my craft room, so I have one. I have 3 now.
3 craft rooms.
3 craft rooms and 3 pizza racks.
Yeah.
Literally, just take it over the house for crafting at this point.
Pretty much.
So the pizza rack is 15 shelves. We'll link it in the comments on the page. But it's my favorite thing ever for a drying rack. Crystal, do you have one?
I do have one. I don't use it much anymore because I don't like to make the things.
Because you're using acrylic.
And yeah, I only really use acrylic. I actually have to make a wood sign for my friend because we're trading services for my baby shower.
Nice.
And so she wanted something that the backer, I'm going to use acrylic for all the stuff on the front, of course, but the backer is like white shiplap. So I can't really do that easily with acrylic. And so I actually went and looked at my little pizza rack the other day, hoping that I had some pre-painted white something or other so that I could, make this sign for her. And I do. So that's exciting.
Perfect.
But yeah, I don't use wood or MDF or pre-paint.
So I use
really
MDF.
Anymore.
I never use wood for anything. I know anybody that sees my work, it's all MDF or acrylic. I only use, I think we talked about that last episode, right? With where we get our MDF from and whatnot. So that's what I use mine all the time. But I think we'll link that in the comments. It's a 15 shelf pizza rack. And it's this tiny little thing. It probably stands like, would you say like just below your waist high?
Yeah, it's not very tall. It's like
I'm standing next to mine. I was gonna say just below like your hip line, I guess. It's super small.
I feel like mine's
and I can
even
set it up
smaller
in
than
my
that.
kitchen.
Yeah, mine. I might even have a smaller one than yours, because I don't feel like mine. I don't know that mine is that tall because it's actually underneath my shipping table now, and I think it's like just above like my knee. I think it goes somewhere on my thigh. So, but I mean, it's great.
Super compact and you can fit it. Like my biggest thing was I was using my kitchen as my like workshop for so long. So I was like balancing things on my stove and on my dining room table while they dried. So finding this and just being able to, you can actually stack and like stay away from the top like 2 or 3 shelves. You can fit 18-inch rounds on it to dry, which I love because that's pretty much. I mean, if I'm drying like a 24-incher, I'll put that somewhere else. But anything else, I love being able to just fit on there.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
great drying
I
rack.
guess that will lead us into pre-painting. We kind of touched base on pre-painting list episode, but I don't know.
We didn't really talk about your super professional technique that you do.
Super professional technique. So I guess we'll just add my little time-lapse video of what I do. But I use 1/8 inch MDF for almost everything, unless I'm using acrylic. It's always backed with 3M, and it's always chalk painted and masked before I cut. I use Rust-Oleum chalk paints. I use Behr chalk paints and Home Decor. Do you use any other brands?
No, I use those same ones.
So our colors, my colors is Parisian Gray. The blue that I use in all of my projects is called Timeless Blue it's Behr chalk. And then my black is Home Decor. I think it's called Noir. It might just be like black. And then Linen White is my white that I use with just Rust-Oleum chalk.
Yeah. Same.
Do you use, what's my other one? Charcoal. I think I use the charcoal Rust-Oleum chalk as well.
I don't think I got that one.
I think I only got that because I thought it was black, and then when I got him, it was a dark. It's just like a real dark gray. It's a nice color. It's actually the color of the front of my dad frame.
Oh, right. Okay.
It looks like it's black, but it's just like a real dark charcoal. But I love chalk paints because they're a little bit more forgiving for touch-ups because of the way they dry. But they are very finicky for drying before masking. So make sure that if you're planning on using chalk paint for a project, that you have enough time to let it dry and make sure it's dry, because even if it feels dry to the touch and it's still a little bit cool, it's still drying and your masking won't adhere properly.
Right. It'll lift up super easily.
It'll like take to it, and then as soon as you try and throw it into your laser, the entire sheet of masking will lift. Yeah. You turn your blower on and your masking just, I'm no longer attached.
Yep. So talk about how you actually pre-paint, like with the roller and
so
the
I
dunking.
Use a little, I don't have like one of the bags. I think they're 4-inch, like the mini rollers. They come in a 5-pack at Home Depot. And what I do, like Crystal said, we'll add a video, but I dunk the roller directly into the paint can. And then I paint. And then I
John's face right now. This was my face when she was describing it to me for the first time. I was like, what?
It's such a time saver, and it's wonderful. Cause
then like, don't forget the jiggle.
So then I shake, make sure that all the paint comes off of the roller. And then once I'm done with the roller, in my video, I use paper towels. So I have upgraded to parchment paper because it doesn't get soggy.
Yes,
so I wrap it in a tiny little piece of parchment paper or wax paper, whatever you have on hand, and then I keep it in a Ziploc baggie where it's ready. So then I can reuse them. And Crystal, how many did I reuse last year? I think I reused my white one for like 6 months before I replaced
3 to 6 months.
It cost me like 15 cents.
Right? You're like, nope.
And people are like, "You're still using it?" I'm like, "Yep." Sometimes I just peel the paper towel right off of it, and then I realized that the parchment paper doesn't stick like the paper towel did. So I upgraded.
Yeah.
But we'll add a video. It works great.
It does really work great. I judged you at first, and then I tried it, and I was like, oh, okay, all right.
No longer judging.
Nope, I sure wasn't.
Maybe still a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Did we talk about the paper towel hack last time?
Yes,
we did. So. I forgot to cross it off my list.
Yeah, no, that one's like a favorite now. I literally don't cut acrylic without putting a wet paper towel underneath.
I can't.
And when I do,
I'll
I get pissed.
It and start over.
Yeah, same. Because then I'll get like a little bit of like flashback, and
I notice just like a second too late always. Like I'll be like, no, like right before the beam hits it, I'll be like, there's no paper towel there, and it's just too late at that point.
Yeah. Although I do hate, because with my settings, it like cuts the paper towel a little bit, so then I have little paper towel bits all over the place. I would say mine cuts the paper towel straight through. Like it almost actually comes up with the piece. It does, and it annoys me because then if I want to cut several things, then now I have to like try and like pat it back down or like get a new piece or cut somewhere else.
Just have new sheets on hand.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying not to waste like a whole roll of paper towel when I'm working one day. But and then sometimes
I'm willing. Give me all the wasted paper towel.
Well, but like when I'm cutting out like again, I've been making a lot of cake toppers. So when I'm cutting out the cake topper name, there's all the like insides of like the K, the E, the the B, and so there's all those little bits of paper towel that I'm like trying to pick up with my nails off the thing, and I'm like, sometimes I leave it there and just let it dry because it's actually easier to pick up when the paper towel is dry. So
then you can just like tap it and sometimes it'll just fall through.
Right. Yeah. Well, although I try to not let it fall through because knowing me, a whole bunch
You're not gonna clean
dry,
your
well, yeah, and a bunch of dry paper towels at the bottom of my laser. Yeah. All I need is to start a fire because I was too lazy to pick up all the little bits of paper towel.
Only you can prevent mirror fires.
Right. Oh man, I'm okay. Yep, That was one. That was a good one.
There it is.
All right.
I don't even know where we're at now.
I don't either. Okay, so that one is one of my favorite ones, though.
Yes, that is my new favorite as of like the
Yes.
last month. I never used it before. I'm real mad that I have waited as long as I did before I learned
Same.
about it.
Me too.
Ugh. And those of you who have a glow forge and are listening, yes, it will work for you too. I've had a couple people that have said like, "Oh, I have a glow forge. Will this work?" Yes.
I didn't really have that
100%,
problem
yeah.
as much
I didn't
with the
have,
Glowforge,
no.
though.
Yeah, so I was just about to say, you probably won't have as much, but if you're as OCD as Crystal and I are, we
Right.
probably didn't notice before how polished our edges could have
Oh my
been.
gosh, they're so pretty.
Had
Especially
we
on
been
clear.
steaming them.
Yeah. The clear is just like, I'll just let there
Steam
and like
those
look at
edges.
it. Yeah.
You know how
Exactly.
you iron your clothes before you go out? Steam your edges.
Yeah. Totally.
So my next one, Crystal, is a little controversial. It's regarding watch bands, but I guess we can probably
right.
just say silicone in general.
Yeah.
And just how to clean.
Silicone.
How just make fun of my accent. Ready?
Sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to hold out, but I couldn't.
It's been a while. I think it's been like since the first episode that we made fun of me.
Yeah.
We, you and John.
Yep.
And by we, I mean you guys. I saw something on, I think it was in 101 the other day about how cleaning silicone
Right.
gets shit everywhere. Sorry for my language, but this is an explicit podcast, right?
Yes.
So it does because silicone dust is waterproof. So
and a couple people I think I noticed when I was doing a ton of watch bands, my sink was clogging a lot more. And it's because that was all kind of going down in there. And I remember someone posting in the Watchman group saying that they literally were having problems with like their sink
plumbing.
and that their husband like went and like, kind of investigated it, and like all that silicone was on like the bottom of one of those like bends, and she said it was like cement, like when it like dried and just
crazy.
Yeah. So what I do
I
now,
brush mine into. I've always brushed mine into the blower just because I
do
hate
that too.
when you hit it with the water, it just goes and
Right.
just dust
Everywhere.
It just blows everywhere all over.
Well, so if it's the watch bands, the rare occasion that I do them now, I use the Dawn Power Wash, and I soak them in a Tupperware container.
Yeah.
And I soak them for a while, and then I clean them. But then I clean them mostly in that Tupperware container, and then only
underwater.
And then only towards the end do I actually use like my sink, so that very little of that stuff is going down. And then when I'm done with that Tupperware, then I pour that outside so that it doesn't get in our sink, as much as possible. So,
actually, I only really use watch bands for, like you do. We use them for our designs. We don't really sell them as products. Actually, I don't sell them as products just because I don't have the patience for it. But I've always brushed the dust into my blower or into something before washing, just because it sprays everywhere. And then scrubbing or I've never used the stuff that you use, but everybody raves about it. So that's probably
really
the better option.
It's a really good cleaner. I think, what did you use it? You used it for something the other day and you really liked it. Was it like your shoes or your hat? Or
I was going to say, people rave about it for like cars and rims.
I've seen
like
it on the rims.
you saw it on the
saw
rims. That's what it was. Yeah.
I saw a reel on it.
Yeah. And it like made
cut the grease, cut right through the brake dust.
It's like the old school OxyClean commercials where it just wipes straight off.
Right. Well, and as opposed to the LA Awesome, it smells really good.
It doesn't smell like pure
LA
crap.
Awesome smells like just trash. It smells so horrible.
It lingers so bad.
It stays on your hand.
I can't use it without gloves. I'll smell it for days.
Yeah, it's the worst. And to me, it actually works a little bit better.
It works. I was going to say that the Dawn stuff I've heard works a little bit better, but like the LA Awesome, I will say, as much as it stinks, it is brilliant for cleaning tumblers and stuff like that.
Another thing that actually worked really well to clean the silicone was power washer. So you have to be careful with the watch bands because of those little like clips that help
connectors and
it,
all that stuff,
that
right?
connects into the that actually makes it so that it clips onto the watch. But as long as you cover that part, I mean, the cleanest that we've been able to get them clean was when there's one day I had a whole bunch of them, I think because I had designed like 6 or 7 watch bands in like one day, and I didn't want to clean all those. And so I had John power wash them, and that's the cleanest my watch bands have ever gotten, was with literally
The power washer.
aggressive power washer outside on
Because
our
that's what it
driveway.
takes, is just because you even know, like when it dries, the dried out silicone bits that stay in there that you have to then bend the band. Like, this is the reason I don't sell, aside from the fact that it's quote unquote not legal.
Right.
I don't sell them because I hate cleaning them and I hate
Right.
painting them, and everybody
Well,
wants them painted, and
right.
then you have the dual ones, but then they wear off. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a lot.
Well, and they're not all illegal, so we should clarify at least that the Apple ones, the popular Apple Watch bands, those are the ones that are patented for the shape and the clasp mechanism. But like the Samsung ones, Versa, Galaxy, like there's several other ones that are not that we're aware of violating
As of
any
right now,
patents. Yeah.
And there are now, can say, versions of the Apple Watch brand that have
that's what
been
we've heard.
approved.
Yeah.
That some groups are selling that they don't look exactly like, obviously, like the Apple Watch brand
Right.
because of the patent, but there are compatible, non-illegal,
Right.
for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
for Apple Watch bands if you're still in that field. And yes, we know people are still selling them. We are not saying anything against you
Right,
or
yeah.
for you.
No.
We do you
Do
whatever
you.
whatever makes you happy. If it's making you money, if you're
Right.
good with whatever comes
The risk
with
that
it,
comes with it, yeah.
we support you.
Faux show. What else you got?
What else do we have? Let's see. We have the fingernail hack. Did we talk about that last time?
I don't know.
I don't remember. But using only 2 press-on nails for photos, it's hard to explain unless you have a picture of it. So I guess we'll include that.
I think you did talk
I think
about
we
that.
did talk
We did.
about
I would
that
say
one,
we might have talked about it.
And
last
it doesn't
time.
work for me because I have acrylic nails. So
Yeah,
if
you just
it's
have
been
acrylic everything.
yeah, it's true. So it doesn't work for me when I need a rebase. Then I just need a rebase, and I try not to get my fingers in the picture if I can help it. Another thing I don't know if we did cover, because it's not one we personally use, but it's one I think Emily uses, and that's Color Street. The little press-on like pieces. They're not really, they don't give you any length or
gel
anything.
nails or whatever they're called. Yeah.
And so they put them on, right before like pictures or whatever, because then you can do it after you've gotten all dirty with paint and glue and all that stuff, and then have your nails nice and even themed. So like if you're doing Christmas something, then you can have like your Christmas, your buffalo plaid nails if you want to.
Matching your ornament ribbon.
Right.
What else did I have? Oh, backdrops. So I made a note about don't underestimate how many backdrops that you have available in your house. Even if you don't know, like Crystal's overgrown bush or my dining room chair.
It's not
I love that.
overgrown.
I love that bush. Except John cut it too far one time and like totally ruined my
your
pictures
photos
for
forever.
like months.
Yeah, we all know about it, John.
Damn. Sorry.
You'll never do that again.
I mean,
I might.
You
he
will,
probably will, yes.
And we'll talk about it then as well.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, Crystal, my whole brand theme is built around a chair. The chair that's in my dining room.
The infamous chair.
the gray backdrop that's in every photo you see on my page is my dining room chair.
Remember when you didn't have a laser for like 6 weeks and you were like, you had all these designs and you didn't know like where to take pictures of them and you couldn't really cut them, and I was like, well, I can cut them for you, but I don't have
you don't have a
gray chair. And we were thinking of like you trying to send me some of the fabric. Considered probably sending me the chair for a couple months.
but for those who aren't listening, that's my husband was like, you are not going to cut this chair. If I was like, well, we have an extra. And I could cut the back off and just send her the fabric. And then she could take a picture. And then I was like, I need to get it together. Like, I can't hack the dining room.
Right. It's so ridiculous what our brain,
idea,
it's what our brain is like, can I? And then usually pretty quickly, you're like, no, okay, stop.
Or Crystal will talk me out of it, or I'll talk Crystal out of it.
Right.
Or John or Bud will ruin our dreams. It's fine.
Yeah.
Why when you guys do it, you talk each other out of it, but when we do it, it's ruining dreams.
It's ruining dreams. Yeah, that's just how it works.
That's just the role you guys play. That's all.
So instead of that mailing the chair scheme, what did I do? I think I took a picture of one band on my chair, and then I digitally mocked up like the design. So I was like, I'm itching. I haven't released the digital file in like a month. Like they're forgetting about me.
Yeah. Gotta love anxiety.
There it is.
Yeah, I use this. I have these like brick pillars outside that are near said bush that we talked about. And it was great because they're kind of like rustic. So it was like the top was like a white concrete. So it has like some texture. And then the leaves in the background will kind of give, I don't know, something. And so I really liked that. And then the natural light obviously helped the pictures a ton. And then I also just recently got some foam board and Duck brand contact paper that's marble. So I haven't used that a ton yet. That's great when I like want to take some pictures inside if it's like rainy.
It's super pretty too. It's like
whatever.
a nice. I've seen pictures of it for those who haven't. It's gorgeous. Simply gorgeous.
And then you bought those backers, but you didn't like those, right?
Correct.
Did you return those?
I returned those, yes. I didn't find them to be worth the $80 a piece that they cost me without a carrying case.
That's the other thing is that it, like for backers, I mean for backdrops and stuff, they can be really, really expensive.
Super pricey.
And so there's ways that you can do it cheaper, like using your bush and your chair and contact paper.
It really is just like all about creativity. Like the iPhone camera does wonders.
It really does. I don't take anything with like a professional camera. If I do, I send the file to Jasmine and beg her to take pictures for me because her pictures are amazing.
Professional. So her work. Can we talk about her for a second?
Oh my gosh.
Can we talk about let's talk about laser hacks, even though we don't do it. Those people like Jasmine who sand the edges of their florals
that Dremel
to make them round.
I would never, but I absolutely admire every single time she does.
I can't. With all of the artists who have the patience for that, it looks
amazing,
stunning.
Yeah. So she's actually
so obsessed.
We talked.
I will bow at Jasmine's feet.
Totally.
Does she listen to us?
I don't know. She probably not because we're enough in our group chat with that poor girl anyway. I can only imagine if like it would probably be overload for her. But she's actually creating signs for both boys. The babies. So she's working right now on the one that's on the way. And I can't even, I'm so incredibly excited about it because it's just going to be,
can't wait.
It's going to be amazing. The skills she has with her scroll saw and her laser and just like how she adds dimension.
Just
and how
the way her
paints.
Brain works.
Yes. Oh, it's so great.
Well,
no, like, I mean, it doesn't.
I bow at your feet.
Well, and it's totally like sure, I probably could make this sign myself, but there's absolutely no way I could make it like her.
No.
So,
Mm-mm.
and when people come to me and they want like a really cool like nursery sign, I'm like, hit up my friend
You
Jasmine.
should, yeah, you should. So I'm like, have you seen the homestay? You should
Yeah.
probably check out Jasmine's page because
Yep.
once you see hers, you're not gonna want mine.
No, you totally. If you just
I
want
can't.
a name on a round, sure, fantastic.
Yeah,
If you
I
want
can't compare my
anything,
work to hers. Yeah.
oh no, not even a little bit. So yeah, some people call me the acrylic queen. She's like what would you even call her?
I don't. She just like so her skills. She's a scroller, so like
Mm-hmm.
her scroll saw skills. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Are just like above and beyond. But like the fact that like she
The
puts like so much
sanding
time. Yeah, it's the
and her
sanding. She puts.
priming and
So
how
how
she
many times did she
paints.
send us like a voice recording where she's like,
Yeah, in the background.
and we're like, Jasmine, what are you sanding right now? And she's like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm working. I have so many projects to get done. And she's just like,
Yeah. It's so impressive because it just
Love it.
adds so much dimension because with laser cut it's like a harsh edge and they use like a Dremel and different grits of
but like
sanding
even I would
to
say
add
even
a
the ones that
rounded
are
edge
like
to it.
yeah. So like I just laser cut and go. But like
Mm-hmm.
those who are laser cutting or scrolling, those who are scroll sawing, I bow at your feet
Highly
because I
impressive.
don't even like I just like to watch like I'm in awe of all of you.
Same.
I just like to watch it. I'm like, ow, how do you not chop your fingers off?
Right, I totally
I would be bleeding.
Yeah. Power tool,
Like,
anything
show
related
me
to
more,
a
but
power
don't do it on a
tool.
time lapse because it makes me nervous. I'm
Exactly.
afraid you're gonna cut your hands off.
Right.
I think that I reached the end of my hacks list.
Oh wow.
Did you have anything left? I think you're good, right?
I think I'm done.
Nice.
Is there anything?
Look at
I
us.
feel like there's something we forgot though.
Probably.
Totally.
Most stuff. But that just means we need to compile a new. So now that we have gotten through our list,
Yes.
we ask the audience for what we missed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to know about what we do and how we do it?
Yep. So I guess then we can talk about what are you working on? What are some things that are coming up for Heather and LoBo?
So I have been trying to beef up my YouTube channel as much as possible because I've been promising tutorials.
Great. Although you
I've
yell
been
at me
getting-
because I don't watch them very much because I don't understand AI yet. And so
You'll
when I
learn
watch
one day.
them, I'm like, sure, okay, great. So
I just like when Crystal gets to see my mess ups. Like I'm like,
they're my
just watch
favorite.
it so you get to see like the parts where my dogs interfere, and I'm like, hey guys, I'll be back in a minute. Where my dogs are
clickety clack, because they came in from outside.
Right. And I'm like, sorry, I have no control over them.
Right.
They're here though. But other than that, so my struggle these days is I am trying to build. I have gotten a lot of feedback that people love some of my YouTube courses or tutorials that go through like step-by-step beginning to end how to do like a full project. But that like some people are saying like there's advertisements or sometimes they lose their place and like they want to be able to just kind of take it like almost like a classroom level. So I've been looking into how to build some kind of a tutorial into a course where I can kind of show here's all of the tools in AI, here are the individual like capabilities, how to do each function in AI, and then kind of give the course like an actual course feel where I teach beginning to end how to do everything. And then at the end, I ask users to email me a copy of a project that they've done based on what they've learned so that I can then tell them what you missed or what you could do differently.
Right.
You've seen certain projects where like there are like erroneous paths that you don't know are there or everything's set to the same color. So my goal right now is to kind of I'm walking a fine line between how to switch from all of my training and learning and knowledge that I share with everybody into being free into possibly doing like a more in-depth paid course that people can kind of interact with me for feedback and stuff like that.
Yeah. That'll be great.
Fine line though. I'm struggling because I don't like to charge people for stuff.
Right, because we help people for free all the time. So it's hard to make sure, you just want to make sure that you're adding enough value
content
to it. Yeah.
And my plan is that it'll be like an ongoing kind of thing. So if I do it as like a paid course, it will be like next week we might add this. And since you've already paid for the course, you're already in. So like,
Right.
you don't have to keep paying and paying and paying.
Right,
It'll
right.
just kind of be a sign up to get into the club kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it'll be good because when I eventually go to try it and I'm like, hey, how do I do this? And you're like, oh, well, course number, whatever, chapter, this is where you
Well,
can
that's
find
what's good
how to
about
do
these
that. And
online
then,
courses is you can just like click,
Yeah.
like you can go and say like, how do I create an offset? And you can go find my course, and it'll just say offset, and it'll be like
Well,
this
'cause-
3-second clip of how to create
Yeah.
an offset versus watching a 10-minute video of me jabbering
Right.
and
Well,
you
and
trying
what
to
would
figure out when
happen-
I actually make the offset.
right. Well, and what would happen when I would ask you before for other things was, like you'd try and explain it like through Messenger or through voice memos, and I wouldn't really understand. And so then we'd like set up like a FaceTime where you'd like actually show
your
me
screen.
Yeah, because if it's not something you already have recorded, it was hard for me to understand because I'm very visual. So it'll even
And
help
it's harder.
me.
I would say it's easier for me to explain that, and I do that a lot with my mentees. Like I'll say, like, do you care if I send you like a voice recording or like
Right.
an actual video recording of like, here's what I'm like. Sorry,
Same.
this is super unprofessional, but here's my screen.
Yeah. Yeah, because I need
It's just
to see
easier
it.
to see. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm the same way. I'm a visual learner. Like if you don't show me what you're doing, I forget.
Yeah. Yep, and that's why I zone out to your current tutorials because I can't follow along because I don't have it yet. And so I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm never going to remember that. And my brain's like, shut down. You're never going to remember that. But I'm getting there to where, because I am finding, so I've worked in Silhouette Studio, and I am finally finding like the limits of what I can do. For the most part, I mean, it really does quite a bit considering it's just like a vinyl cutting software and it's not an actual like design software. But I am finally getting to the point in my skills that it's semi-limited with Silhouette. So I do need to make that switch, but I always hate switching softwares because you're so slow in the new software because, you know, in the other one you're just super comfortable so you know everything. Well,
But does your other one have keyboard shortcuts?
No, and I don't
And
really
fun
use
ways
them.
to switch between tools? You will when you switch to AI.
Well, but then the keyboard shortcuts will be different for me because you're on a Mac, right?
No, they're all the same.
Okay.
It's the only thing that switches with between Mac and desktop usually is control command. Yeah.
Okay.
So like anything that I say command would usually be control.
Okay.
Anything that I say option, I think is alt for you.
Okay.
So like it's just like a switch of a key.
Okay.
But it's fun with AI because I think that if you were to ask me what my favorite part of Illustrator is, it's the ability to easily switch between the tools with keyboard.
John just asked to me. Can we talk about the listener who commented on a completely unrelated podcast post? It was, I think you did like Glow Create, like, you know, pimp your stuff Monday or what, make money Monday. And she was like, can I just say when they were making fun of your accent, it was so funny. And I loved how it was like, sell your stuff. And she was like, can we talk about Heather's accent? And
I don't have an accent.
What was the word? Half.
Half. It's always half.
Anything with an A. Anything with an A. Yes. Half.
And then I had to go find the episode and listen to it again. And then
she zoomed in. Yeah,
and then there was vowels.
She like posted just so you vowels.
Vowels.
Tails. Crowns. Vowels.
Towels. Towels.
How do you say crayon?
Crown.
Of course. Of course you would. Wow. I knew that was coming. That's why I asked.
You know.
So wait, here's how I talk. So if I'm in the middle of a recording and I'm on a tutorial, I would say, "Oh, okay, take out your crayons, and it's time to learn." But if I'm talking like a normal human being, like me, I would be like, "Take out your crayons. Those are crayons."
What? Out of my mouth? Take out my crown?
Crown. Take them right out or off your head.
You've heard Heather's tutorial, like, customer service voice, right?
No.
So that's what that just was.
I just heard her say it now.
It's so fun. I'll have to play one of her tutorials for you because it's like
a professional voice.
Yeah, and she, she's
just have
with
to
us.
switch
She's
it.
just
It
like,
switches right on and off.
Hey, I'm Heather. What's up? Like,
I'm here.
Heather's here. And then in her tutorials, give a little preview of your tutorial voice.
I'll be like, welcome back to the LoBo Designs channel. This is Heather Lynn, owner of LoBo Designs.
Who's this person?
It's so funny. And I think at every single time.
I'll be like, at the end, I'll be like, this is Heather Lynn of LoBo Designs signing off. I'll howl at you later.
I'll howl at you later?
Yes, like the wolves. It's great.
It's so funny. I was wearing your. I'm actually wearing your shirt again today. I was wearing your shirt the other day, and Jr. asked me, "What does that say?" And it says LoBo Designs. It's Heather's company. He's like, "Oh, LoBo," and then I pointed to the animal. I didn't know if he knew what the animal was, and I was like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a wolf." Yeah. So he likes when I wear your shirt, and he asked me what it says.
Because he knows what it is.
Yes.
Perfect.
Faux show. Yeah, I don't think we really have. I totally feel like we're forgetting something.
Yeah, but that's a good thing because then I feel like with the feedback from the users on anything we missed, plus what we remember that we missed.
Yes. Or maybe, so if they don't have hacks to share, then maybe they can ask, if there's something that they're doing that may seem like a difficult task, asking how we make it easier. Yeah. Or if there's ways to make something easier. Because there usually is. You find out the hard way.
Or where to find certain things if you're having a hard time locating certain supplies or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Anything that would make your life easier that you think we have easier, just let us know. Yeah. We'll share all of our secrets with you. They're not secrets. We've learned them from someone on the feed.
Because we've taken it from most.
That's my favorite part about the group is we're just passing on knowledge that we've learned from other users.
Yep. That
nothing that I know is most of the things that I know. Yeah. I won't say nothing. I've learned a few things on my own, but a lot of the things that I know and I share are things that I've learned from in Gov or in That Mom with a Laser or from another laser user that has said, hey, before you waste your time. That's my favorite part about this community is I wasted the last 2 days of my life doing this. Please don't do this. Yeah. I'm just going to tell you how to do it the right way.
Right.
Thanks for tuning in. Remember to subscribe if you're not already, so you get notifications of when the new episodes drop on Mondays.
And not to knock your momentum, but let's celebrate. We just hit 1,500 plays on the podcast.
Yay!
Super exciting.
I'll partially celebrate this like it's my own win.
I mean,
it's not really my podcast,
it's partially
yours. It's a third yours, probably at least.
Maybe 20%. Yeah. 40, and 20 all day.
40, 20. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So yeah, thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe. Tell a friend who doesn't know about the podcast.
Yeah.
Tag your friends.
Tag your friends that are in the laser community.
Join the Facebook group if you're not already.
Join the Facebook group,
because that's where we the Riley Black Project, and that's where we, especially on these laser hack episodes, we list all the hacks and attach pictures, videos, links, whatever, to make them, make sense. Because, listening to how to do something doesn't exactly help all the time. So, yeah, and that's where you'll find it. That's where you'll find if there's, codes or anything. Oh, let's remind them of our discount codes for our SE pages.
They are one and the same, correct?
They are, yes.
LoBo Black.
Mm-hmm. For how much off? 40% off of anything, yeah. So check it out if you haven't already. LoBo Black.
Where can they find you, Heather?
LoBo Design Shop on Etsy.
She's like,
I forget my name.
Yep, and then I'm Riley Black Designs on Etsy. I have some new. I guess I should share what I'm working on. I finally have some new cake topper designs coming.
So cute.
I have been working with a friend. She's actually, she's really a baker, but she's been incorporating acrylic into a lot of her stuff, is either like, toppers or signs or that kind of stuff. So I've been helping her with, she's not like design savvy. And so I've been helping her with the designs, and I'm actually working on a menu for her for a luau party. So creating those, once I make them for her, I'll make them specifically for her, but then I'll take that SVG and, get rid of the personalized stuff and then add it to my shop. So hopefully we'll see some of those. I'm working on a cupcake topper for the Olympics.
Oh.
I'm working on a fun cupcake stand that is similar to my watch band stand, which does really well. So I'm excited about that one. So
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, that one's gonna look cool. It does have the pesky kerf, in it, but
dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we'll catch you guys next week, and that's been another great episode of the Riley Black Project.
Bye.
Bye.
Mamie, we're all done.